Coming to paperback and e-readers, John Haynes, 1987. Learn lessons about life and teenage love in the 1980s with this coming-of-age John Haynes story. Pre-order your copy of John Haynes, 1987 at online booksellers everywhere. Last Tuesday, one of our great statesmen in the black community, Harry Belafonte, passed away. Now, Harry Belafonte passed away at 96 years old, and I believe his contributions to entertainment and the civil rights of black people will be remembered for centuries on, because Harry Belafonte, as one of the great black statesmen, was an icon of class and character and presented one of the greatest examples of black manhood and black masculinity for generations to come. Now, Harry Belafonte was one of the great black men to come out of the 20th century, and he has made multiple contributions to music, film, and to civil rights. And I want to go in depth on all three of those contributions as I pay tribute to one of our great black statesmen. Now, I wasn't able to make this video on the Tuesday that I heard about it because I had an appointment and I didn't want to rush out anything. No, I wanted to take the time to honor one of our great black statesmen with a fitting tribute to his great legacy. Now, Harry Belafonte was born on March 1st of 1927 to Jamaican parents in Harlem. And even though he was born to two Jamaican parents of mixed ethnicity, he was a foundational black American who dedicated himself to fighting for the rights of black people as he worked as building his career in the entertainment industry. And that is basically because he was mentored by two legendary black men. He was mentored by Paul Robeson, a great actor and activist, and he was also friends with Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. when he was alive, so he was in the presence of greatness, and that also added to his own greatness as he was learning from two of the greatest legends, one in entertainment and one in civil rights, and this led to him becoming one of the true great black men of the 20th century. Now, even though he was born to Scottish, Jamaican, and Afro-Jamaican parents, foundational black American Harry Belafonte worked hard to build himself up and went to schools in Jamaica. Then when he returned to New York City, he attended George Washington High School here in New York. And then after he graduated, he was in the U.S. Navy and served during World War II. And while he was working as a janitor's assistant, a tenant gave him a gratuity of seeing tickets of the American Negro Theater, and that's where he fell in love with theater, and he befriended Sidney Poitier, who, when he was alive, and the two struggling pair would do things like purchase a seat to a local play, trading places between acts, telling each other about the progression of the play. And then towards the end of the 1940s, Harry Belafonte began taking acting at the Dramatic Workshop in the New School of New York City, a school down in Union Square where a lot of great actors did go. And he worked with Sidney Poitier with the American Negro Theater and received a Tony Award for his participation in a Broadway review of John Anderson's Almanac, and then starred in a theater thing called Three for Tonight with Grower Champion. And then as this was going on, he then started his musical career, and he was doing music in clubs in order to pay for his acting classes. And this is where he started his work in music, and he started doing his work in music. And as he did his work in music, he created his legendary and iconic album Calypso, and it was his legendary and iconic album Calypso that was the first record to ever sell 1 million copies in a year. So He has the distinction and honor of being the first musician to ever go out here and sell over 1 million records. I mean, this is an accomplishment for a black man during the days of Jim Crow. He was the first to go out here and be an icon to sell 1 million copies. And his legendary song, the Banana Boat song, is known as Deo. This is a song that is iconic to people all over the world. And this is a song that most people know for generations. And I was introduced to that song when I first saw the movie Beetlejuice. And the movie Beetlejuice features two of Harry Belafonte's iconic songs. It features the song "The Deo," which is known as Banana Boat song, and it also features I believe, the Shake Shake Sonora song. I mean, all of these songs are featured in Tim Burton's Beetlejuice, and these songs are iconic to Harry Belafonte. Again, these are songs that define his music and define his whole musical career. And again, it sold over 1 million albums, and again, a great accomplishment for Harry Belafonte as related to his music career. And as he was performing with his music career, he also became an icon in cinema. And he became an icon in cinema because he starred at the side of the late Dorothy Dandridge in the film Carmen Jones. And the film Carmen Jones was a signature for Dorothy Dandridge, but it was also a signature for Harry Belafonte because that role was again considered to be iconic to him. So this was one of his major signature roles. And this started his overall career because he did start, his first film was Bright Road, but he was known for Carmen Jones, and Carmen Jones was the iconic film. And as his career went on, he continued to star in other films and went on to star in many films out here like The World, The Flesh, and The Devil, and also starred in other films like Buck and the Preacher with his friend Sidney Poitier, Uptown Saturday Night, and Harry Belafonte also went on to make great contributions as a producer in both music and film in the 80s. I mean, he produced and scored the film Beat Street, which was all about hip-hop culture, showing how much he loved black culture, because I remember rap was being demonized in the 80s, but he showed his love for black people by going out here and producing the Beat Street song and the score of the musical. Again, this was a great contribution, and Harry Belafonte also brought musicians together for the We Are the World song, which featured some of the great musicians of the 1980s. So Harry Belafonte made a lot of great contributions to entertainment, and his contributions to entertainment went on even until about 2018, when he starred in Spike Lee's Black Klansman, which was his final role playing an elderly civil rights pioneer, which was something, ironically, he was in real life, because Harry Belafonte was a major contributor to the civil rights movement, inspired by one of his mentors, civil rights activist Paul Robeson, who himself was out here as an actor fighting for civil rights as he was a performer. And Harry Belafonte was actively politically involved in the civil rights movement, and he was out here actively working with individuals like Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., and he provided support for Dr. Martin Luther King, who earned $8,000 as a preacher, and also helped a lot of others help the civil rights movement by going out here and contributing to the freedom rides, voter registration drives, and even helped organize and coordinate the March on Washington. Harry Belafonte was active out here not only in the entertainment industry as related to building his own career, but he also took time to go out here and fight for the rights of black people, because he understood that even an entertainer is a second-class citizen here in America, and that if a entertainer can't have rights as the same as a white entertainer, then it's not. It's the whole thing is it's just not right at all, because we all deserve to have our civil rights as black Americans. I mean, if we are paying the equal amount of taxes, if we are paying the equal amount of money to the government, then we deserve equal service, and we deserve equal services as related to schools, roads, libraries, and other municipal services that we are paying taxes for. And that's what the civil rights movement was all about. And that's what Harry Belafonte fought and advocated for, and with his celebrity provided a larger stage to the civil rights movement, and also helped out people like Dr. King be able to gain some credibility, because with the support of a celebrity at their side, they could get support from many of the black masses who were on the fence to understand that the civil rights movement was fighting for every black person, and every black person from every economic status, and showing us that he had to go out here and fight for against racism here in America. And again, Harry Belafonte's foundation in the civil rights movement also was part of his humanitarian activism. I mean, he also went out here and was with UNICEF as a goodwill ambassador. He has traveled to African countries to help those Africans as well and help them fight for their rights. He has fought in the campaign against HIV and AIDS, and he's also been advocating to fight against prostate cancer. I mean, he's been fighting a lot of different social and political causes, and he's also been trying to try to persuade people in America to go out here and be opposed to certain politicians. Now, Harry Belafonte, again, was active as related to persuading, talking to people about the Bush administration, and he was also called out people like Colin Powell and Condoleezza Rice. I mean, he has cooked both of them regularly, and he was also a major supporter of the first of the Obama administration. So Harry Belafonte has been active over the course of the 70 years. He has been out here fighting for civil rights, and again, fighting for people, even though he was trying to entertain them. He was fighting for people, black people, and standing up for black people as he's gone out here and had his major achievements. I mean, Harry Belafonte is one of the few black people to achieve the EGOT, which is known as the Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, and Tony. So he has received all of the multiple major awards, such as a Grammy. He has a Grammy Award, a Grammy Lifetime Award, an Emmy Award, and a Tony Award, and an Oscar. So he has all of the awards, and he's been inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So as an entertainer, he is an icon. As a civil rights leader, he was an icon. And as a political individual, he is an icon. I mean, he's a major icon who has inspired and influenced generations with his actions, and he is somebody who I have great respect for, because Harry Belafonte has gone out here and achieved and accomplished a great life over the 96 years he has been living, and he is somebody who has gone out here and done lots of great things in spite of all of the oppression of racism and Jim Crow and that he experienced in the South, and the discrimination that he and his contemporaries like Cindy Poitier ran into in the North. He is an example of how we are supposed to push and persevere in the face of adversity, and we are supposed to try to go out here and overcome in the face of that adversity. Now, Harry Belafonte over the years did have several marriages. He was married to Marguerite Byrd from 1948 to 1957. He was married to Julie Robinson from 1957 to 2004, and then married to Pamela Frank from 2008 onward. And he's had 4 children, including Sherry Belafonte. And I have a Playboy with Harry Belafonte, but I won't talk about that. But the whole thing is that he has gone on and helped his children to have successful lives and successful careers. I mean, he has gone out here and had a great life and borne a lot of great fruit. And again, when I think of Harry Belafonte, I just have great respect for him as a man, because he's gone out here and in the face of all adversity, overcome in the face of all of that adversity, and he has gone out here and stood as a man as related to going out here and fighting for black people. I mean, he has done his work towards helping black people over the years, and he's gone out here. And again, if it wasn't for him and many of those in the civil rights movement standing up, I wouldn't be on this platform today talking, because it was men like Harry Belafonte and Dr. King and Malcolm X who paved the way for black people to have the rights to be on these platforms. If it wasn't for them fighting for our civil rights, we wouldn't be here today. And I think about Harry Belafonte and again his great contributions, and I just think about them, and again he is an icon. And I know that many people in the goth subculture, they know of his music from the movie Beetlejuice, because his music was featured prominently in Beetlejuice, and it was featured there in the two songs, the Banana Boat song and Shake Shake Sonora. That is a major part of that movie. It was in the movie all the way through, and that was again Tim Burton paying homage to one of the world's greatest musicians. And Harry Belafonte not only was inspiration to Tim Burton, he was also an inspiration to me as related to multiple characters. The Jack Anderson character in The Thetas, who is Colleen's father, was inspired by Harry Belafonte, and Cassandra Lee's father, Carlton Lee, was inspired by Harry Belafonte. Both of those characters were inspired by the legendary Harry Belafonte, and whenever I would imagine both Jack Anderson or Carlton Lee, I would always imagine Harry Belafonte's voice as playing both of those fathers, and I thought that he would be a great person to play a father, because he was an image of being a positive black man. So he had a major influence on my writing as related to creating those two characters. So when I was deeply saddened when I heard about the passing of Harry Belafonte at the place I was in. I was sitting on my cell phone. My solar watch had died, and I went to check the time on my cell phone. And as I went to check the time on my cell phone, I was just devastated to hear about the passing of one of our great icons. But I understand that the Most High knows better than me, and since he knows better than me, he has decided that this is the time to return Harry Belafonte home at 96 years old, because at 96 years old, his work was done, and now it is time for other brothers and sisters to pick up the baton from Harry Belafonte, who has done all of this great work. It is up to us to continue carrying on his labors and carry on his legacy, because he has gone out here and shown us that it is possible to go out here and achieve greatness, and we can achieve that greatness if we go out here and continue to persevere and have faith. I mean, we can go out here and do the same great things as Harry Belafonte, and again, he is an inspiration to us all as related to black empowerment. He is one of our great diplomats. He is one of our great statesmen. He is someone I have nothing but respect for. And while I am saddened about his passing, I understand that the Most High has said that this is his time to leave. And again, he is going home to the Most High, and he's going home to the Most High. And he will have been someone who has done great work for the Most High here on this earth, and he is deserving of all of the rest he will have in heaven with the Most High. Rest in power, Harry Belafonte. Thank you for all of your great contributions to music and movies, and also thank you for all of your great contributions to the civil rights movement, because if you didn't help fight for our freedom and our rights, many of us would not be in this place today. And I want to show my appreciation and gratitude to Mr. Belafonte. I never met him in this life, but I just want to say thank you to him as related to all of the great work he did for all of us back in the days of the civil rights movement. Rest in power, Mr. Belafonte. You are well deserving of your rest. Now available in paperback and e-readers, John Haynes, Godbreaker. The man who rules the world takes on the Asgardian god of thunder in this action-packed, all-new John Haynes series adventure. Get your copy of John Haynes, Godbreaker in paperback and e-readers at online booksellers everywhere.